Success is never built in the spotlight. It is built in the shadows, in the unseen places, in the quiet decisions no one applauds, no one celebrates, and no one even notices. Many people chase success, but very few are willing to build the character required to sustain it. Because success can take you where your character cannot keep you. And when that happens, the fall is always greater than the rise. Success cannot outrun character because every form of achievement, recognition, or elevation in life eventually exposes the true foundation a person stands on. Talent can open doors, opportunity can elevate you, and ambition can push you forward, but only character determines whether you can remain where success places you. Many people chase success believing it is purely about skill or luck, but the reality is deeper success magnifies who you already are. If your character is strong, success becomes a platform for greater impact. If your character is weak, the very success you dream of becomes the very thing that destroys you. Character is the internal structure that holds your life together when pressure increases. When you rise higher, the weight increases, expectations grow, responsibilities multiply, temptations intensify, and voices around you become louder. Without a strong internal foundation, the external rise becomes too heavy to sustain. This is why you can see people reach incredible heights only to collapse just as quickly the spotlight revealed cracks that had been ignored. People often think success is the goal, but success is actually a test. It tests your integrity. Will you stay honest when shortcuts look easier? It tests your discipline. Will you remain committed when comfort becomes more available? It tests your humility. Will you remember where you came from or let pride blind you? It tests your loyalty. Will you stay true to your values or trade them for applause? When character is undeveloped, success becomes dangerous because it gives you influence without stability. Character is built long before success arrives. It is created in the small decisions you make daily, choosing honesty when lying could gain you advantage, keeping your word when breaking it would cost less, working hard when nobody is watching, staying consistent when nobody is clapping, controlling your emotions when frustration feels justified. These choices seem insignificant in the moment, but they accumulate into strength. They form the discipline, integrity, and resilience needed for higher levels of responsibility. Success cannot outrun character because sooner or later, the truth always surfaces. If you pretend to be someone you're not, success will expose the gap. If you rely on charm instead of integrity, success will reveal the emptiness beneath it. If you depend on talent without discipline, success will highlight your inconsistency. If you chase validation instead of purpose, success will amplify the insecurity that was already there. Nothing reveals the reality of a person more powerfully than success. This is why preparation matters. You do not build character on the stage, you build it in the shadows. You build it through patience when progress feels slow. You build it through sacrifice when comfort calls you. You build it through perseverance when challenges stretch you. You build it through humility when correction comes. Everything you endure is shaping you for the future you desire. Success often arrives faster than character for those who are gifted, but that gap becomes dangerous. The greater the difference between your success and your character, the harder the fall. But when your character grows first, success becomes a blessing rather than a burden. You become trusted because you are consistent. You become influential because you are dependable. You become impactful because your life is aligned with your values. Success cannot outrun character because true success is not what you achieve, it is who you become while achieving it. The strength of your internal world determines the stability of your external world. The height of your future is limited by the depth of your character. The faster you rise, the stronger your roots must be. And when character grows first, success becomes something you can carry with confidence, responsibility, and purpose. The hidden seasons shape the visible results because every breakthrough that people admire is rooted in a quiet period they never saw. Growth does not begin in the spotlight. It begins in the soil, buried, unseen, and often misunderstood. These hidden seasons are the times when you feel unnoticed, when your efforts seem small, when your progress appears slow, and when nothing seems to be moving on the outside. Yet these are the very moments when the most important transformation is happening. Just as a seed must spend time underground before it breaks through the surface, your character, skills, habits, and mindset are developed long before anyone recognizes your potential. People often admire the fruit of someone's success, but overlook the years of pruning, discipline, sacrifice, and perseverance that produced it. Visible results are only the final chapter of a story that began quietly. The hidden season is where you learn to be consistent without applause, faithful without recognition, and disciplined without reward. These moments test your motives. Are you doing it for approval or because you are committed to growth? Are you driven by passion or pressured by comparison? Hidden seasons refine your intentions and strengthen the purity of your purpose. When life feels slow or stagnant, it is easy to believe that nothing is happening. But hidden seasons are never wasted. They are strategic. They are intentional. They are designed to mature you, strengthen you, and prepare you for what's coming next. You learn patience when doors don't open. You develop resilience when challenges stretch you. You build endurance when the process takes longer than expected. You gain wisdom when you're forced to reflect instead of rush. These qualities aren't developed in moments of comfort, but in moments of obscurity where growth feels invisible. What people see publicly is always a reflection of what you practiced privately. Confidence is built in the quiet repetition nobody witnesses. Excellence is formed in the private hours when you push yourself beyond convenience. Mastery grows in the unseen practice that others overlook. Even your character is shaped in silent decisions, choosing integrity when compromise seems easier, choosing gratitude when frustration feels justified, choosing consistency when giving up feels reasonable. These choices, made in private, determine the strength of your future. Hidden seasons also protect you. Sometimes you are not delayed, you are being developed. You may feel ready for opportunities, but opportunity exposes what preparation has not completed. If you rise too quickly without the skills or maturity required, the pressure of the next level can crush you. Growth in private ensures that when the public moment arrives, you can carry it with grace and stability. What you build in the dark determines how long you can stand in the light. In these seasons, comparison becomes one of the greatest dangers. When you look at others who appear to be ahead, it's easy to question your own process. But every person has their own timeline. The seed does not envy the fruit. It understands that its season of breaking through will come. The soil may feel confining, but it is also the environment that prepares the seed for strength. Your hidden season is not a punishment. It is the preparation for durability. What grows slowly grows strong. When visible results finally appear, success, recognition, opportunity, people may call it sudden. But you will know it wasn't sudden at all. It was the result of every quiet moment, every disciplined choice, every unseen effort, every unnoticed sacrifice. The hidden season shaped the strength, identity, and foundation required for the visible blessing. What happens in silence shapes what people celebrate in the open, and the depth of your unseen preparation determines the height of your future impact. Pressure reveals what preparation has built because the true measure of strength, character, and capability is not seen when life is calm, but when life becomes demanding. Anyone can appear confident, disciplined, and determined when everything is easy. But pressure removes the mask. It exposes the reality beneath the surface, the habits you formed, the values you strengthened, the skills you sharpened, and the mindset you cultivated long before the moment of testing arrived. Preparation is invisible, but pressure makes it visible. It shows whether you have built a firm foundation or only an illusion of readiness. Pressure has a way of intensifying everything: emotions, decisions, responsibilities, and consequences. It magnifies weaknesses and highlights strengths. If your preparation was genuine, pressure will reveal clarity, stability, and resilience. If your preparation was shallow, pressure will expose cracks, inconsistencies, and fears that were never addressed. This isn't to shame anyone. It is simply the nature of growth. Pressure doesn't lie. It doesn't flatter. It reflects exactly what has been developed within you or what has been neglected. When a structure is tested, the stress doesn't create weaknesses, it exposes them. The same principle applies to your life. If you haven't built patience, pressure reveals impatience. If you haven't built discipline, pressure reveals chaos. If you haven't built integrity, pressure reveals compromise. And if you haven't built resilience, pressure reveals fragility. But when preparation has been consistent, pressure highlights what is strong: your ability to stay calm, your commitment to the process, your wisdom in decision-making, and your endurance when the path becomes difficult. Great preparation isn't glamorous. It happens in quiet, repetitive actions: studying when you'd rather relax, practicing when distractions call your name, saying no to what weakens you, choosing what strengthens you, and shaping your habits daily. Preparation is forming the mindset that refuses to break under stress, building skills that become automatic under pressure, and cultivating character that remains steady even when challenges intensify. Every small act of preparation becomes a deposit into your future strength, and pressure simply withdraws what you've stored. Pressure also has the power to refine you. It can strengthen what is weak if you allow it. Instead of seeing pressure as a threat, you can view it as feedback. It shows you what needs growth, what needs healing, and what needs more focused preparation. Pressure is not an enemy, it is a teacher. It points to the areas where you need to stretch, mature, or rebuild. Without pressure, you would never know your true potential, and you would never see the parts that need attention. When preparation is thorough, pressure becomes a confirmation instead of a confrontation. You recognize that the challenges you face are not meant to break you, but to prove the strength you have built. You face difficulties with a sense of readiness, not because you are fearless, but because you have trained yourself to respond with clarity and courage. Preparation creates confidence, not arrogance, but assurance that you can handle what is in front of you because you have spent time working on what is behind you. Pressure also separates desire from commitment. Many people desire success, but only those who prepare fully are able to withstand the pressure that success demands. The higher you rise, the greater the pressure becomes. Responsibility increases, expectations grow, and decisions carry more weight. If preparation is lacking at the foundational level, the pressure of greater opportunities will expose that lack. But when preparation has been deep, consistent, and intentional, pressure simply reveals the excellence that has been built over time. Pressure is not the builder, preparation is. Pressure only reveals what preparation has made possible. It uncovers the truth of who you are becoming and proves whether your foundation is solid. Whatever you prepare for in private will stand strong in public. Whatever you discipline yourself in during quiet seasons will support you in demanding seasons. Pressure doesn't determine your strength, it exposes it. And the more committed you are to preparation, the more confidently you will face every challenge, knowing that what has been built within you is strong enough to endure whatever comes. Shortcuts create temporary wins, but long-term losses because they offer the illusion of progress without demanding the discipline required for true growth. They promise quick results without the investment of time, effort, and consistency that genuine success requires. At first, shortcuts look appealing. They save energy, they reduce struggle, and they give you a fast taste of achievement. But what they do not give you is the depth, strength, resilience, or wisdom needed to sustain that achievement. A shortcut is like building a house on sand, fast to construct, quick to admire, but unable to endure pressure, storms, or time. When you take shortcuts, you rob yourself of the process that was designed to prepare you for the responsibility of your goals. Every meaningful accomplishment requires a certain level of character, patience, endurance, and skill. These qualities cannot be developed instantly. They require repetition, practice, failure, correction, and persistence. Shortcuts bypass these steps, which means they bypass the very qualities that make long-term success possible. They give you the appearance of progress while hiding the weakness beneath it. Temporary wins can feel satisfying. You might get attention, recognition, or results faster than others. But because no real foundation was built, pressure exposes the emptiness behind the achievement. What comes quickly also fades quickly. The person who gains success through shortcuts often spends more time trying to maintain an illusion than actually developing the strength needed to support it. Instead of feeling secure, they feel anxious because they know deep down they skipped the work that creates stability. Shortcuts also weaken your character. When you avoid the difficult parts of the journey, you avoid the growth that comes with them. The struggle, the discipline, the discomfort, these are not obstacles but ingredients that form maturity. Without them, you remain fragile, easily shaken by challenges, criticism, or competition. The process is not just about achieving the goal, it is about becoming the person capable of carrying the responsibility that comes with the goal. Shortcuts cheat you out of that transformation. In the long term, shortcuts drain more than they give. They create patterns of inconsistency. They teach your mind to seek the easy way instead of the right way. They cultivate habits of impatience and entitlement. They weaken your work ethic and make you dependent on convenience instead of committed to excellence. So while they offer quick progress, they also create long-lasting consequences that limit your future potential. Taking the full difficult path is not punishment, it is preparation. Every skill you sharpen, every challenge you overcome, Every failure you learn from becomes part of the strength that keeps you standing when opportunities arrive. The long path builds confidence because you know you earned your progress. You don't fear pressure because you've faced it before. You don't fear competition because you've mastered the fundamentals. You don't fear setbacks because you've learned resilience. None of these qualities come from shortcuts. Shortcuts may seem efficient, but they make you vulnerable. They teach you to depend on luck instead of learning, on convenience instead of discipline, on timing instead of mastery. They put you in situations you're not prepared for and give you responsibilities your character cannot carry. Even if you win temporarily, the lack of preparation eventually becomes visible. You cannot outrun the consequences of avoiding the process. True success is built slowly, layer upon layer, through intentional decisions and consistent effort. It grows stronger over time because it is rooted in discipline, integrity, patience, and perseverance. When you embrace the process, you gain more than results. You gain wisdom, experience, strength, and character that cannot be taken away. These are the qualities that protect you from long-term losses and help you build a future that lasts. Shortcuts may offer quick victories, but they never create lasting success. The investment you make today becomes the endurance you rely on tomorrow. The process may feel slow, but it is forming a foundation that nothing can shake. Influence without character is dangerous because influence amplifies whatever already exists within a person, whether good or harmful. When someone gains influence, they gain the ability to shape decisions, affect emotions, guide actions, and impact the direction of others. But if their character is weak, unstable, selfish, or unprincipled, that influence becomes a weapon instead of a gift. Influence is powerful, but without integrity, humility, and responsibility, it becomes destructive. It magnifies flaws that were ignored, accelerates mistakes that were never corrected, and spreads attitudes that were never disciplined. Character is the internal compass that keeps influence aligned with wisdom and truth. Without that compass, influence leads people into confusion, compromise, and chaos. When a person lacks character, their decisions are driven by ego, pride, insecurity, or fear. They begin to use influence for validation instead of leadership, for control instead of guidance, for applause instead of impact. And because influence touches not just one life, but many, the consequences spread far beyond the individual. A small flaw in private becomes a major failure in public. A hidden weakness becomes a visible collapse that affects everyone connected to them. Influence increases pressure, and pressure exposes character. If someone has not taken the time to build honesty, humility, self-control, discipline, and responsibility, the weight of influence becomes overwhelming. They may act impulsively, respond emotionally, or make decisions based on selfish desires rather than principled values. Influence gives people a platform, but without character, the platform becomes unstable. It elevates someone before they are ready, and the higher they rise, the more damaging the fall becomes, not just for them, but for all who trusted them. Without character, influence tends to feed the darker parts of human nature. It can inflate pride, turning confidence into arrogance. It can trigger greed, turning ambition into exploitation. It can distort perspective, making someone believe they are above correction, above accountability, or above consequences. Influence without character blinds a person to their own weaknesses. It convinces them that success is a sign of perfection rather than a responsibility that demands maturity. This blindness leads to poor judgment, destructive choices, and broken relationships. Character is what protects influence. It keeps you grounded when people praise you and steady when people criticize you. It stops you from abusing authority, from taking advantage of those who trust you, and from placing your desires above what is right. Integrity ensures that the influence you carry strengthens others instead of weakening them. Humility ensures that you remain teachable, correctable, and aware of your limitations. Responsibility ensures that you understand the impact of your words and actions. Without these qualities, influence becomes reckless and unpredictable. Influence without character also harms the person who holds it. It creates a pressure to perform rather than to grow. It pushes them into roles they are not prepared for, temptations they cannot handle, and expectations they cannot meet. Instead of being empowered, they become enslaved to the image they created. They lose themselves trying to maintain a reputation built on influence rather than on genuine strength. Eventually, the truth surfaces and the collapse becomes inevitable. Influence is a gift that demands preparation. It is not meant to be gained quickly or used carelessly. It requires the slow, deliberate development of qualities that allow influence to be used wisely: patience, honesty, courage, empathy, discipline, and discernment. These qualities take time to build, but they become the armor that protects both the leader and the people they lead. When character grows first, influence becomes safe. It becomes a tool for building, encouraging, guiding, and uplifting others. It becomes a force for truth, strength, and positive change. But when influence arrives before character, it becomes dangerous, unstable, and ultimately destructive. The true measure of someone's readiness for influence is not their talent, charisma, or popularity. It is the depth of their character. Only character can sustain influence in a way that honors others, protects the future, and creates impact that lasts. Become the person before you receive the position, because the weight of any role, title, or opportunity will always reveal the truth about who you are on the inside. A position may elevate you, but it does not transform you. It simply exposes the preparation or the lack of it. Many people desire authority, influence, or recognition, but very few are willing to undergo the internal shaping required to carry those responsibilities with wisdom, maturity, and stability. The person you become in the process is far more important than the position you eventually hold. When you focus on becoming the right person first, you develop qualities that cannot be shaken by pressure, competition, or criticism. You learn discipline before you need it. You strengthen integrity before it is tested. You build humility before success tempts you toward pride. You cultivate emotional stability before conflict challenges your patience. These are the qualities that sustain leadership, protect influence, and allow you to thrive instead of crumble when responsibility increases. Without them, even the greatest opportunity becomes a burden rather than a blessing. Positions come with demands for decision-making, consistency, self-control, and sacrifice. If you step into a position without developing yourself first, the pressure will expose the gaps. Insecurity will surface. Impatience will show. Lack of discipline will disrupt your effectiveness. Pride will distort your judgment. Immaturity will turn challenges into chaos. A title cannot make you wise, but wisdom built beforehand can help you carry any title well. Growth must come before elevation, otherwise, elevation reveals immaturity that preparation could have resolved. Focusing on the position instead of the person leads to frustration. You begin to chase recognition instead of responsibility. You compare yourself to others instead of developing your own capabilities. You rush the process instead of embracing it. But when you focus on becoming the right person, you no longer compete with others, you compete with your own potential. You invest in learning, practicing, improving, and strengthening the parts of you that will shape your future. The growth you develop in the shadows becomes the strength that sustains you in the spotlight. Becoming the person first also means learning to handle small responsibilities with excellence. The way you manage the little things determines how you'll handle bigger ones. Excellence is not created when the position arrives, it is revealed by the habits you formed long before. If you cut corners in small duties, you will crumble under large ones. If you lack discipline in private, you will struggle with pressure in public. The process of becoming the person teaches you that nothing is small in the journey of growth. Every detail shapes your character. Your mindset matters just as much as your actions. Becoming the person means developing patience when opportunities don't come quickly. It means embracing correction instead of avoiding it. It means being grateful rather than entitled. It means choosing growth over comfort every time. This kind of preparation transforms you from someone who merely desires success into someone who is truly ready for it. When the position eventually arrives, it won't feel overwhelming. It will feel aligned with who you've become. Becoming the person before receiving the position also protects your relationships. A position gained without maturity often leads to arrogance, conflict, and broken trust. But a person who has grown internally understands how to treat others with respect, kindness, and fairness. They use their position to serve, not to control, to encourage, not to manipulate, to lift others, not to elevate themselves. This kind of character turns influence into a positive force rather than a destructive one. Opportunities come and go, but the person you become is something you carry for life. Positions can be given or taken away, but character stays with you. Skills can help you enter a room, but identity determines how long you stay there. If you become the right person, the disciplined, humble, wise, responsible, and resilient version of yourself, the right position will eventually find you. And when it does, you will not just step into it, you will thrive in it because you have built the strength to carry its weight. Because when character is in place, success cannot be stopped. When character is strong, opportunities recognize you. When character is mature, you don't chase success. Success follows you. Build the person first, and the platform will come. Strengthen the foundation, and the future will stand. Develop character, and success will not only come, it will last.